giving out free picks. We try and go down the card every day. We try and maybe give a look ahead as well, or, talk about whatever else is going on, especially during these light schedule days. We're 9 days away from college basketball, though, and those shows are going to be packed with action. Mondays, though, even during college basketball, always a very, very light day. It seems Mondays and Fridays during college basketball are the light days. But, of course, we'll have tons of other stuff. We're still going to have, in the meantime, football on those days. So there'll be Monday Night Football along with Monday college basketball, and then Friday college football along with it's usually a light college basketball. The Ivy has canceled their schedule, and they're kind of the Friday night guys. So we'll have to see exactly how it shakes out. Usually the Big East or Big Ten will throw out one Friday night game, and also the Horizon League big on Friday. So we'll see. I don't know. I haven't looked ahead to the schedule, but we'll figure it out. But we just one game on the schedule today. It's the Bears and the Vikings divisional matchup. You always got to be a little bit on edge about these. A little bit tougher to call. Thanks to everyone for those kind YouTube comments last night. I don't think I've ever been called a piece of garbage, a loser, and all those things, all in one thread like I was before the game even kicked off. I guess my Patriots plus the points and money line in the video. A lot of people, well, not everyone, but I often get comments saying, hey, you only give the totals in your videos and stuff like that. And that's not true. Generally in the primetime games, I'll give a total, and my premium pick will be on the side. Last night I didn't have a pick, so I gave out the side in my YouTube video, and maybe I won't be doing that again after. I tell you, I had to delete a lot of them. They were just ridiculous. And I guess that's the way the public little babies are. But speaking of public little babies, we got the gang with us. We got Bittler, we got Rod, and Chris Ruffalo. So Brian Bittler was on a little bit of a cold streak, but I think he got his hammer revenge last night. He was all over the Patriots. He was the one texting me like my friends. I was texting me like a third grade girl all day. Patriots! Exclamation point! Exclamation point!
Thanks, Brian.
Another exclamation point.
Me too.
It was like, I'm like, I know, but I already have all of my money on the Dolphins. I have to wait till after the game is over to bet this. I already have everything on the Dolphins. I have a new car coming in 2 weeks. I have to pay for this thing. And I did. I got a white one. Excited. Black interior. Fast. And thank you very much to Tagley. Man, does anyone throw a better football than this guy? Has anyone ever seen a guy throw a nicer pass than what this guy throws? I mean, I've seen quarterback my whole life. I've seen guys with quick releases. I've seen guys that throw like the 90-yard bombs like Michael Vick. I've seen it all. I've never seen a guy throw a nicer spiral than this guy on a regular basis, even on the run. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just this, I don't know, man. The ball's like spinning like crazy, and it's like, it's just this perfect throw. It's just unbelievable. And the Dolphins, the beat just goes on. That game, it was, the Chargers dressed it up with a touchdown at the end, but that game really was never close. The Dolphins, it was 3-and-out on the first series. They blocked a punt, ran it in for a touchdown, and never looked back. Well, they didn't run it for a touchdown.
There was a turnover that killed the Chargers there, where he threw that interception. I think it was the third quarter, or it was the fourth.
Well, in the first series of the game, they were 3-and-out. Miami blocked the punt, recovered it on like the 1-foot line, and punched it in. So it was like they got a touchdown right out. It was like receiving to both kickoffs. When a team does something like that, it's like receiving the kickoff in both halves. Very, very hard to win when that happens. It was over. It was done at that point.
I don't see that.
Well, the Dolphins.
Here we go to argue the Chargers and the Dolphins.
I understand, but the Dolphins were up 14-0. They had the ball at the Charger 20, and they fumbled a snap, and the Chargers recovered. It was going to be 21-0. In the first quarter. It was, believe me, there was turnovers both ways. But the Chargers were never inside the number. Never. They were never close. Anyways, doesn't matter. We all cashed on the Patriots. Thank you for all the compliments about our halftime show. We gave out Patriots money line, and of course the Patriots over the team total. And how about that one? The Patriots took there was 8. It was 9. We had it 9. Then the book wouldn't let us put it in. They dropped it to 7.5 for the Patriots for the second half. I was like, I don't know. I didn't understand. I was like, wait a minute. I don't think it took my bet. I'm up doing the show. I'm like, I don't think it took my bet. We bet the Patriots. So then we hit the Patriots team total at over 7.5. They take the opening kickoff while we're still on the air, all the way down for a touchdown. All I needed was a half a point somewhere, And you knew the way the Ravens, were kind of sucking wind at that point, it was going to happen. But Brian had it all the way. I know that was his his game of the month, I think.
I took half of every one of my accounts and stuck it on that game, and I was like, well, if I lose, I'm going to be in trouble. But I think rarely,
I never think that when I do that. I'm just like, what am I going to do until I cash out? That's like what I'm thinking when I do something like that,
Well, rarely do you see a play. I mean, that happens a couple times a year where a play is obvious in the morning, and
Well, it was the Dolphins, but that was the Dolphins game, so that was like for me.
We didn't agree on that one, but
I know, but that's for me. That was that game. It was that game was so easy. I mean, it was ridiculous. Brian just didn't like the money movement on that game, but it had nothing to do with that. It's like that's one where you just cap the game and you just say, "Oh my God." We have this mismatch in every different angle you look at this. Offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. It's what we call the grand slam.
I don't know. I like Herbert better than Tua. Not that Tua's bad, but
it's not even close. And I was a Herbert guy on draft day. You could ask these guys. We watched the draft together. Chris, Rod, and I. We did a show. I was a Herbert guy on draft day. I wanted the Dolphins to take Herbert. You could see it on the field yesterday. Tua, night and day, I'll take him over Joe Burrow. He was clearly the best quarterback in that class, and it's not even close. It is not even remotely close. This guy is going to be, if he stays healthy, one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game. This guy is, I watched him. We had Dan Marino for years, and I mean, with Dan Marino, he changed the game, right? It used to be, the NFL used to be 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Dan Marino came in, he changed the NFL, right? The spread, all those things was Dan Marino. Before Dan Marino came in, the record for passing touchdowns in a season was 36, and that sat there for a long time. Marino threw 48. He broke it by 25%. I mean, he totally changed the game. This guy throws, I saw this guy do some things yesterday, and it's like just the little things, and you can see it as a rookie. Just some of the little things that he does. This guy is amazing. This guy is, I'm going to say, this guy clearly, when they said, we're tanking for Tua to get the number 1 overall pick last year, I was like, I don't even want this guy, right? I'll tell you what, I was wrong about Patrick Mahomes, and I was wrong about Tua. And I said about Mahomes before, I couldn't believe they traded up to get him, all that stuff. Deshaun Watson, it was a Deshaun Watson guy. This guy is unbelievable. This guy is the guy. He's easily going to be the best quarterback in the NFL, and he's going to be the best quarterback as he stays healthy for the next 10 years plus. Easily.
Well, I need to see a little more out of him.
Oh, my God. 3 games in, 3 games in, 3 games in, this guy's throwing, he's making all the throws, everything right on the money. I mean, it's not like, he's like this Drew Lock in Denver that I wanted, right? Oh, my God, right? It's like if he throws it within 6 yards of a receiver, it's seen as a victory, right? I mean, this guy, everything is right on the money. The receivers are just like, they're excited to play with him because he's hitting them just boom, boom, boom. It's like, it's an amazing thing to watch. It is amazing to watch. And I'm telling you, I've been watching the NFL my entire life, and I'm not just saying I'm a Dolphin fan because I'm from Miami and I am a season ticket holder, but I haven't been to a game. I've been to 1 game since they moved out of the Orange Bowl, right? So I'm about as distant of a Dolphin fan as you can be, right? Rod, most people consider Rod to be our Dolphin fan of the show, right? Now I'm a season ticket holder since the day the team started. right? My family bought the tickets the day the team started. I went to every game of the 72 season. I never missed a home game in the Orange Bowl my entire life. When they were in the Orange Bowl, I never missed a home game. Playoffs, Super Bowls, everything. I never missed a game. But Rod is considered, that's how distant I am from the Dolphins. But I have never seen anything like this before in all of my years watching the NFL. And it's not because he's on the Dolphins. It's because, oh my God, this is the guy. This is the guy. It's unbelievable. Anyways, it's exciting to see.
It is exciting to see. A team I cheer for isn't stinking it out.
Well, you can say Mahomes all you want and all that other stuff. Tua hardly has the supporting cast that he has. Hardly.
Yeah.
And it's like, this guy's dropping dimes. Mahomes is like, I would say Mahomes is a great quarterback. Obviously, he wasn't good in the Super Bowl, right? He wasn't good in that game. They gave him the MVP, but he hardly deserved it, right? He was maybe third or fourth on the list if you really look at who should have been the MVP of that game. Right? It was Williams, the running back, and Chris Jones, right, the defensive tackle, were easily had bigger games than him, much bigger. But I'm just saying that I've seen this before, where a guy comes in and all of a sudden he just lights it up, and you could see it. Like when Dan Marino came in as a rookie, and they put him in this first preseason game, he threw for 6 touchdown passes. It was like, this guy's going to change the game. You just knew it, Anyways, man. Brian, what do you got tonight for sale?
Well, I'm ready to hit. I'm ready to hit Monday night. Not as hard as I hit yesterday, but I like the game tonight. It's called my Monday Night Money Shot. So check it out. $30 at pickdogs.com. Give your wallet a money shot.
Of course, we're going through our Monday night picks. This is Mitch. I'm here with Rod, Brian, Ann, and Chris. We are doing our live show. I just went off on a little thing about Tua. I didn't hit the record button on our podcast, so that's why I'm kind of recapping. But I believe we are seeing the future, and his name is Tua. Anyways, Rod, what do you got tonight?
Well, I got one side in tonight's Monday Night Football, 10-star Monday Night Football. Kickstart your week.
Sound like you got a little throat issue going on there.
I woke up with a little bit of a sore throat.
Sounds like COVID. Ann.
Well, I hope you feel better. And tonight I have my.
I hope you feel
Monday
better
night.
too, but the COVID doesn't start in the throat, so you got.
You're fine. You live in 80-degree weather, so.
You got to be careful, and you got to be super careful.
My Monday night money maker, and I have it on a spread tonight. Big winner tonight.
And will be with me at halftime tonight on Monday night. If you guys missed our halftimes yesterday, the early show, I would say I was choppy in the early one. The second one, I hit every single game. Every single halftime pick that I gave out in the afternoon show, we hit. And then, of course, on Sunday night, we had the Patriots team total, Patriots money line, and Patriots plus the points. Much to the chagrin of most of our YouTube audience, I think those comments and stuff come from people that aren't like subscribed to our channel. I get these comments and they act like I've just started doing these videos or something. It's like I've been doing this for 15 years. It's like we've seen them, right? I had hair, I was young, I was like, very weird. But anyways, Ann and I will be on at halftime. Speaking of halftime, Chris.
Well, today I got my my mammoth Monday night NFL monster play. This was a game that I had circled, not just because it was Monday night. It was like I really found something I liked for this game, so I have it over $25 over at the website. I'm gonna finish this week on a winning note. Massive winning day.
Waiting for Chris to say. I got 14 picks tonight in tonight's Monday night game.
Oh, I should have done Meatloaf Monday.
It's like a stack of pancakes. Chris's stack.
Friday.
Chris's Monday stack. I I've stacked the plate with pancakes. Couple sausages. I got
How about Chubb running out of bounds yesterday?
Yeah.
Browns game at the end instead of I couldn't understand.
They don't teach math at Georgia. Todd Gurley, him. I mean, these guys, they can't figure it out. It's like when it's good, when it's not. We can only hope. Like I had the Browns, right? So it cost me, but I still had a winning day. I would have been 4-1. I was 3-2 on that play, and we can only hope. And the thing is, the books had a really big side on the Texans in that game. All of them did. Across the board, they did. DraftKings, they're all talking about like how much money they won on that game. So the thing is, all these NFL players, and when I listen to the announcers infrequently, and there's only some that I can even stomach, right? And John Gruden was one of those guys that I could listen to because he kind of had insight that other guys didn't have. And when people would say, "Hey, man, why are the starters still in here? Why is J.J. Watt still in this game? With 8 minutes left to go and they're up by 20." And Gruden said, "As a coach, you have to leave these guys in because they have an incentive in their contract for X amount of sacks. And during garbage time, when they know they're going to pass, is a great opportunity for them to get a couple cheap ones to hit that total. You bench them, they miss their bonus. It's really not fair." And that's exactly what he said. So we can only hope that Nick Chubb misses a couple bonuses there. Hopefully he misses his rushing yards by 1 yard, and hopefully he misses his touchdowns by 1. And hopefully the Browns hold him to it, because 99.9999% of the time, management, when it comes down to something like that, because it has happened before. It has happened many times on these things. Usually management holds a hard line and they do not pay out. I've never heard of management saying, "Well, he ran out of bounds because the coach." No way. They hold a very, very hard line. They'll say, "Screw you, I'm not paying you." Like 99.9999999% of the time. So we can only hope that Nick Chubb screwed himself out of a couple $1,000,000 on that. Because it does happen. It absolutely happens, in baseball especially is where they do it, Baseball.
It cost me fantasy points too.
In baseball, like the guy, if you miss, so that's what it is. It's like if you miss by one hit, like say your thing is that, if you get more than 100 RBIs, if you get 99, they don't pay you, right? And this is the same thing in football. It's sacks, touchdowns, wins, coaches, it's wins, all that other stuff. They don't say, well, you almost, it was a bad call, you lost, so we're going to give you the bonus. They don't do it. So we can only hope that Chubb, that one comes back to bite him in the ass. They just don't teach math at Georgia. Todd Gurley did the same thing, and Chubb, two Georgia running backs. It must be a requirement at Georgia. Like if you play football, you just don't go to school at all. That's really what it must be. What's the other guy? The Georgia guy that was on the Giants? Isn't he like serving 18 to 20 or something? It's like the defensive back. What's his name, Chris? The defensive back from the Giants that got arrested in the offseason. Him and the Florida guy.
Oh, is it Quentin Dunbar? No.
Yeah, Dunbar's the Florida guy. It's the Georgia guy. Baker. DeAndre Baker.
DeAndre Baker.
Yeah. DeAndre Baker. Pretty easy to find. You just type Dunbar arrest. There's like 800 articles
That's
out
what
there.
I did.
800 articles. Well, Brian, a little bit of payback there yesterday for you on the Patriots. I know, not your strongest run that you've ever had. I know you had the
3-2 day, but I'll take the.
But
finish.
the two losses were.
Win
I was
to
on
win.
the other side of both of those. I was 3-2. I was on the other side of both your losses. I wonder if you were on the other side of mine. Did you have the Texans?
Oh, well, I had the Giants all freaking week.
Did you have the Texans and the?
No. I bet a couple hundred on the Browns because I changed my mind on that game. But I had the Eagles. I had the Giants all week long.
I had the Panthers,
I changed my mind.
Panthers were I just missed. Sometimes you just swing and miss. I knew, it was you get that weird feeling. So when Jones had that touchdown, sometimes you get that weird feeling when you could see the defense is stacked at the line and you're like, if this guy pops through, it's going to be a touchdown. And you see it on fourth downs happen. I'll tell you who it always happens against is Oklahoma in college football. They stack the line. The running back pops through, and it's like, whoosh, he's gone. And usually it's the cover for Oklahoma. But anyways, we got the Bears and the
Rams Patriots. Sorry to cut you off. That was my two
winners.
ones that had heavy circles on. So,
mine was the Dolphins. I said it on the show that I have 2 sports cards. Mike, the quote wasn't, everyone quoted me in the Facebook group, and it was awesome. I really like all the posts about it. But I said I have 2 sports cars in the garage, and it's games like that that paid for both of them, and now they're paying for another one. Because it is just, I mean, I don't understand the Chargers' angle in that game. I can look at that game 1,000 times, and I can't come up with Chargers in any way, like even remotely, even on the page, to come up with Chargers for that game. I just would love to know how you got there, but it's it certainly can't be Anthony Lynn's going to outcoach Flores, down the stretch here. I mean, that wasn't going to happen, right? Boza was out, right? So it was like I just don't see it. But anyways, it happens. I've been on the wrong side of some of those too. Just like a lot of people were on the Ravens last night, and I didn't see that either. I couldn't figure it out for the life of me. Ruffalo was on the Ravens on the show, and he's a Pats fan. Of course, we'll bring it up. Throw a little salt on the wound. It always sucks when you bet against your team and then they cover, right?
Yeah,
it's always bad.
I was going rule of happiness. If I bet on them or if I bet on the Ravens and they win, I get money. If they lose, at least my team won. But didn't work.
You still feel like crap.
Yeah.
I saw a guy in the messages, the Pick Dogs group had Ravens money line as the last leg of like a huge parlay, and that must have been a tough one to swallow.
Yeah,
minus 350.
300 on. Why would you toss that in there on a?
You did, Brian. You tried to reach out to him.
We pounded the Saints on the in that second halftime. That they were up by 7 at the half against the Niners, and the line was 3. We just crushed that one, and then we had the Rams second half, another one. Chris, I don't know what the deal is with Chris's background, man. I'll have to get him a green screen or something.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
College football on Tuesday doesn't look too spectacular.
David Stanton posted an awesome post in the Facebook group next to his car. That's a good one. Yeah, Anthony Lynn is terrible. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand how to win football games. Anyways, Brian, let's go to Soldier Field. What are you thinking here, Bears and Vikings? I know we don't have a lot to choose from today, so it's going to be, close to the vest on these picks. I know it. What's your thought process here?
For me, I'm looking at the under as a solid play. I think the Bears continue to struggle to score. I actually see the Vikings trying to. I think both teams are going to run the ball. So to me, I think the under makes sense, even though it's probably a public total. But I'm going to put a little bit on the under tonight. Oh, first touchdown, Kyle Rudolph. Plus 1,700, so it's a long shot. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, because Kirk Cousins would have to throw a touchdown pass for that to happen.
Well, I'm thinking he's going to play action Dalvin Cook and get Rudolph wide open. But
I thought you were going to say, I think Cousins is going to get knocked
out. It doesn't pay enough to take Dalvin Cook. That's what makes sense.
That's my. But I think that's the only pick that you can make. Dalvin Cook or Thielen.
It just doesn't pay off enough for me.
What about Thielen?
Thielen was a good payout. I forget what that was. I think it was 900 plus 900. But Jefferson also wasn't too bad.
Rod, you going to be able to focus on this one with Kent State and Bowling Green on tap for tomorrow?
Oh
no, that's actually this past week. I think I think it actually
Bowling Green plays Buffalo,
They
and
play
that's my
Buffalo,
drive-through.
Buffalo and Bowling Green.
Yeah, there's only
Tune
two.
into the drive-through.
So the
tonight.
Miami, Ohio versus Ohio game has been canceled.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of cancellations already again for next week. Arizona State, Colorado is canceled.
How do they know already? I guess there's a lot of people.
I guess 2 weeks time span.
Don't worry, Brian. We'll get you a time on that Oregon UCLA game real soon.
How about UCLA yesterday? That was pretty easy.
Is this a thank me later, or is this?
No,
I told you UCLA was
it's,
going to
it's,
win.
it's a, you should have thanked me by now.
That was just a 50, hey, just for fun, so I pay attention to it.
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to go to a new number. Rod has taken your $50.
I think that was a surprise, though. Who expected UCLA to play?
I thought you were gonna say that was a surprise. Who expected Rod to take my $50 line? Didn't see that one coming.
Surprise. I think in this game here, I'm going to take the over. I think it just sneaks over.
Any first touchdowns? Any,
Oh, and my first, I'm actually on the same one as Brian. That's what I've got written down. I like, which is like, oh, okay. I like Rudolph as I like to play action to Cook and throw it to Rudolph. It's the other one. Otherwise, you're going to take Cook at plus 300. Yeah.
Yeah, that $50, that'd be a nice little payday. Plus 1,700.
Yeah, it's
Buffalo 31.5 against Bowling Green, and Akron 24-point dogs to Kent State tomorrow. Action.
I don't want to give away my pick tonight, but did you see what both those teams have on deck in the following week in MAC? So I can't go too far in detail because I don't want to give up such a great pick early, make people tune in tonight. But
how about Florida Atlantic minus 31.5 against UMass? That line's moving fast. So if you want Florida Atlantic and you want to go south of 5 touchdowns, you probably want to get on board now. I know we have some handicappers that think you buy their picks on Monday and they put their picks in then, but I know from seeing when the sales come in that nobody actually does that. Except some people have bought some college basketball packages, and I think a lot of people more on that stuff. They go to the yearly, just the overall year. I don't know. It's personal preference. And Soldier Field, Chicago, my old stomping grounds.
Well, it's crazy because I actually really loved Kyle Rudolph for that first touchdown tonight. But I'm actually going to go ahead and give Dalvin Cook for the first touchdown. Maybe I'll probably throw a little bit now because I was feeling that, but I decided to change it up since Brian and Rod had said the same player. But for me, for my play tonight, I'm definitely going to take the over on the first half of the game.
I thought you were going to say, yeah, I fucking love Soldier Field, man.
Yeah, rock on Soldier Field.
I love Soldier Field, man. I do love Soldier Field, man. I do love it. I love Soldier Field.
I have not been, but
oh my God, I saw the Stones at Soldier. I saw U2 at Soldier. Saw the Bears at Soldier. I used to run the Soldier Field 10K every year where you finish on the 50-yard line at Soldier. They show you up on the board. It says Mitch. Mitch
by the
Wilson. Do the belt. Just do one of these. They show you up on the board. I'm like, I think the first race that I ever ran was the Soldier Field 10K, and I was like, I couldn't believe my time. And I was like crying, cried like a little bitch. Chris, speaking of crying like a little bitch,
I was waiting for it. I didn't want. I had a feeling that was coming.
How much did it hurt to watch your Patriots beat the Ravens last night? After you
surprisingly
gave
more
them
than
no chance.
Surprisingly more than you'd think. I'm with Ann on this one, but I think I'm going to go over for the full game. I think Chicago handing off, or Matt Nagy handing off the offensive play calling duties might actually wake up this offense a little bit, and I do think that Minnesota's going to score their fair share of points, even with Kirk Cousins and Dalvin Cook struggling against the Bears, and Kirk Cousins struggling in prime time. But I'm also with Ann. I like Dalvin Cook at even just plus 350 for the first touchdown. I'd rather cash something than, I know the values on other players like Rudolph and Justin Jefferson, but I just think Dalvin Cook scores first. I think he scored first in 5 of their last 7 games. So I'll take Dalvin Cook first.
We all have the Vikings scoring first.
We do. I knew you were going to say that too.
I think Cook's the number 1 fantasy player.
That doesn't mean we have the Vikings.
I don't care about who's the number 1 fantasy player.
We're just trying to give out the best.
You've got my fantasy team. Let's go play.
I went yesterday, the first time ever. I went to Pick Dog's pick group, and that one guy that posted fantasy stuff, I put some money on whatever he had out there. I know that nothing's automatic, but I was rooting for that yesterday too. So. Brett's
had some massive winners. He hit a golf tournament this year that he gave out the picks in the group. He hit it for like $50K. The picks that he gave out for free.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that every Sunday. Find out what he has and just put some $10 or whatever it is.
You just got to make sure you're not in the same tournament.
It happens. It happens. Chris isn't in the same tournament.
I did it, and I'm like, oh, sweet, I'm in 5th place, and I thought I was going to win $150, and I just see Brett CU05 right next to me, and I'm like, son of a...
I like the under in this game tonight. I think that we see some weather. I think that's going to be the black and blue division. I think that we have 2 teams that struggle to score touchdowns. I think we're going to see some field goal attempts, a lot of field goal attempts. That doesn't mean field goals. These are 2 sloppy teams, and you don't get to 3 and 5. I mean, which Vikings are going to show up? The ones that beat the Lions and the Packers with no defense, or the ones that got hammered by the Falcons? I mean, I just don't even know. And the Bears have lost 3 in a row, but they're all against pretty good teams. But they beat the Bucks 20-19, and since then, the last time we saw them on a primetime game at home. They won. They beat Tom Brady 20-19, and then since then, it's been all downhill. Right against the Titans, they scored points, but I don't remember them getting really past the 50-yard line that game. Maybe I fell asleep. Sure as hell is possible. I like those 6 late games yesterday. I thought that was kind of fun. The thing about it was that my second halftime show ended up being 40 minutes, though. It was just a little long for halftime. Anyways, we're going to do some look-aheads for this weekend's college football. Brian, UCF Cincinnati. This line's on the move. 3:30 on Saturday. What are you thinking?
Where's it at? Cincinnati? What's the line?
At UCF, plus 4.5.
Oh,
you got weather here, so this is one of those games, okay? And this is what happens when you don't have a real regional conference, okay? The weather, we've seen the weather around the country, in the northern parts. We saw it yesterday, and knock it off.
I'm trying to get my pen to write stuff down. Everything just exploded.
That's what happens.
We're good.
Sure we are. Anyways. This is what so we have a colder weather team heading south. It's probably going to be 85 degrees for this.
I mean, for me, I would.
3:30
if I had to do it now, I would jump in on the points with UCF.
It's moving that way. It's a 1.5 point move already.
I mean, Cincinnati's been great, but UCF is better than their record indicates. I think they'll get up for this one. I'll take the points if I had to do it today.
Well, you have to do it today because I'm just called you
just
out
as a get UCF early.
I mean, we're not saying. Well, Brian will be giving this pick out on Saturday, so
Man, I've changed my mind before. Look, I took the Eagles yesterday instead of the Giants, who I had all week. So I changed my mind.
Oh, here's an interesting one. Okay, this one is super interesting.
Never usually turns out good when you change your mind.
Is that some betting advice there you're giving Brian?
Yeah, it's usually, trust me, stick with your gut. It's never a good thing to change your mind. You start flip flopping, you're in trouble.
Next, he's gonna say, "Stop stealing my $50 line."
Liberty U gets at NC State.
I won't. He didn't copyright it though. I didn't hear Brian say copyright $50.
You think it's a $50?
I'm going to go to 55 now. 55. I'm going to 55.
$55 to win 50.
How about Liberty U and NC State?
Who?
Liberty at NC State next week.
Liberty. What's the line? Money
3.5.
Money line.
Liberty's getting 3.5.
Money line.
I got my brand new Liberty T-shirt in the mail yesterday.
Oh, God.
Cousins 0-9 on Monday Night Football.
I don't know how much confidence you have in Foles.
Nick Foles has been falling apart and Trubisky's out.
Who's the backup?
Yep. I'm with you, Mike. Tua is way better than Burrow. I mean, it's apples and oranges, man. It is not even close. He is way better. I mean, way, way better. He's way better than, I would say, 3/4 of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now. And soon he will be the number one quarterback in the NFL.
And he's got some feet on him too. His legs, he can actually run a little bit faster than I thought he was going to be.
Speaking of running, Florida State, Rod, plus 34.5 against Clemson at home.
I'll take Clemson minus a 34.5.
Florida State traditionally plays them very tough. Traditionally.
But they've looked awful.
Super tough. I don't know. I kind of like Florida State in that one.
I think Lawrence comes back and pounds the crap out of somebody.
Yeah, but look at what happened with Cam Newton after he had coronavirus.
What happened?
He just was terrible after that. I feel like Trevor Lawrence will be fine, but
was Cam Newton good?
I don't think they're gonna cover.
It's still Cam Newton.
Oh, the Orange Bowl was the best, man. The Orange Bowl parking was the best. He parked in someone's lawn. No block. No block. No block. It's like they always sell shish kebabs, like when you're walking to the game, and it's like, but with a heavy Spanish accent. Cisco ba. It's like, that's not even shish kebab you're saying. Cisco ba. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, the Orange Bowl is definitely just a different animal. It's like, olive and arepa? It's like, what? It's like a corn cake with cheese on it. It's like, all right, I'm in. Cheese? I'm in.
Yeah, sign me up for a dozen.
Yeah, you got me. No, you couldn't eat a dozen of those things. They're like lead. It's like,
fine, half dozen.
Yeah, but the tailgating still at the Orange Bowl was great. It's great. The party posse. One year at Florida State Miami game, some guy comes up to me. I'm walking to the game, just standardly walks up to me and says, "Do you have any rolling papers?" Like, out of all the, it's a Miami Florida State game, so there's 100,000 people going to the game. Of 100,000 people watching the game, I'm the one he comes up to and asks him if I got rolling papers. So, of course I got rolling papers. Are you a cop? I said. He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna bust you for having rolling papers." It's like. He's like, come with us. It's like, we're having a party. I go there. It's the party posse. They have like 10 kegs of beer, like having this gigantic party. I just barely made it by kickoff. It was awesome. It was the game. It was the game where Michael Barrow knocked Tamarick Vanover out of the game. It was that game where it was just like he hit him so hard, like the whole stadium shook. It was like depleted him. Vanover had run back the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and then he got hit with like a little screen, and it was like, Smack. And if you ever watch the replay of that game, Keith Jackson says, and he's met by Michael Barrow, who separates him from the ball and his senses, and he's not getting up. And like Vanover's like, he finally got up. He walked to the wrong, it was like a boxer walked to the wrong corner. The party posse. I love the old Orange Bowl, man. Love it. Love it. And Kansas against Texas. 29 points for the Jayhawks. You know they're going to get up for this one.
Texas, easily.
67% of the money on Texas, the line hasn't budged when you're seeing all the other lines
Interesting.
moving.
Okay, well, I don't have the reports in front of me. What's the total then?
Total?
Let's go
the
that
total's,
way.
It's college. The total's off. The totals come out on like Tuesday or something.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to go with Texas here.
Freaking hate Texas.
For right now. See if the line moves at the end of the week.
I hate Texas, man.
I hate Kansas, too.
Wow. What did Kansas ever do to you?
Nothing. I just suck.
That's the point.
I can see one of our guys having like a huge play on Texas this week. I'm not going to name any names, but
What?
not any guy, not anybody on this show, but I can see one of our guys on the site having a game of the year on Texas. That's
I thought you were talking. I thought you were talking about me. I'm like,
no. I'm talking about
No.
I can tell you that's going to be a game of the year type of game for me. Oh, spoiler alert.
Games of the year.
Texas, big.
Dolphins, Chargers. Told you
Take
so.
Texas.
Chris, Indiana, Ohio State.
Oh man. You know, Indiana's done a good job shutting me up over the last few weeks, but man,
This one's at the
Ohio.
at the Horseshoe. 20.5.
Yeesh.
98. Here's the crazy thing. 98% of the money line bets are on Ohio State. What's the return of that, man? But 67% of parlays, 67% of parlays include Indiana.
Because the thing is, I wouldn't be surprised with either one.
Bullshit, man. I'll take both. It's like, what do you think? You're at a wedding or something, and they send you the thing.
I'm not going to.
How about like when you get the cart? I mean, I know what happens like with these guys, with Zawacki and Ruffalo. It's like they get the wedding invitation, and like you have to, with the RSVP, you have to check off the chicken, the fish, or the steak, and they just circle all three. They just do the circle.
No, mine is like I crossed one off, but I kind of erased it lightly so that it's still there.
Just a big circle around all three of them. You
know what? I'm gonna take Indiana in the points. I think it's a 17-point game, but I think Indiana sneaks in and covers here, 38-21.
Brian looks like he might have an opinion on that one, or he has to go to the bathroom. Which one?
No,
is it?
I want to see how the public reacts to that line. If they're going to jump all over all those plus points with an undefeated team, or if they're going to back Ohio State at home. So this is one of those games where I like to see how it goes during the week. Track
Yeah,
it.
it's so early in the week. So like 6 people put money in.
I like Indiana.
I'll be 700 on that game. 700 people I see in this little, and that's only a sample size. So.
How about Duffy's? Is Duffy's still there? Like, even though the old Orange Bowl is gone? If you want to tip me, just buy a consensus report or something. Or spread knowledge. Yeah, we had more than 500 on the Pats money line last night. That's for sure. We had way more than that. I think on our halftime show, Ann had me in about $7,500 on halftime. That's a lot. I'm like,
Patriots money line.
I'm like, you realize I'm 10 grand into this thing. It's like, wait a minute. The Pats team. It's like we're doing the show. It's like the Pats team total for the second half just dropped to 7.5. It's like, oh my god.
Great.
Oh no.
I'm like, and when the game kicks off, you sit there and count in your account how much money you're gonna get.
It's like I don't even know where I'm at anymore. You ever have like those things where it's like I don't even know where I'm at on this game anymore? It's like that always happens. It's always the games like that, right? The last time I was on an NFL game that I did not know where I was at was that day. It was the day after that Miami Notre Dame game when I was in Vegas, and it just so happened the Sunday night game was the Patriots against the Texans when Brock Osweiler was starting for the Texans. Yeah, there wasn't enough points to keep me off of that one. That's for sure. I'm sure the Sharps were all over the Texans in that one with Brock Osweiler.
Probably. I hate the Patriots.
I know, but it's like Brock Osweiler. They wheel him out. It's like you got Brock Osweiler against Brady and Belichick, like in their prime. It's like, yeah, I don't think so. It's what you call a bad spot. That's what you call a really bad spot. I don't know. Here's the comment, where Michael's saying tonight seems to be too obvious, but I think looking at the consensus report, the Cappers are pretty split on this thing, right?
Yeah, how could tonight's game be obvious?
I think this is not a Patriots, Ravens, Chargers, Dolphins type game. Not at all. This is one where it's like you put a little something and you're kind of just to be involved, and that's it.
If this was a Sunday game, I'd probably skip it.
I mean, we'll see. Maybe at halftime, I might be chirping
Mitch,
a different tune.
We're going to be at halftime, like, spending a lot.
All right, what the hell? It's like,
we're predicting our halftime prediction.
Yeah.
Our betting predictions.
Brian, how about the San Jose State Fresno State game? This is a big line mover already. Fresno opened at -1 point, but San Jose State now 2.5 point favorites. And I've seen a 3 out there as well at I'm not out to mention Bovada on the show. And then the other one is at Bet365 in New Jersey. It's also -3 at +105. That's a book that won't throw you out, Ann. Bet365.
I won't be allowed to take it, probably.
That's in Jersey. Bet365, they're awesome.
Oh, it is. Oh, I wonder what casino.
They're awesome. You could probably just download
Bet365.
You could probably download the app,
New person.
They're the best. They're the best of all the books. I honestly believe that when it all shakes out in the U.S., that they're going to be the winner.
Oh, if I sign up, I get $100 in bet credit. I'm using it tonight.
Put a little something on the. Yeah, I mean, I saw on our parlay calculator, I saw that they added some new books in there, for Jersey. There's going to be more. William Hill was added for somewhere. Yeah, William Hill. I mean, they don't want our business, but they want somebody. It's like we welcome everybody, except if you win.
Let's see where they're at. I can't find.
Well, that's how I'd want to do it. If I was a book, I'd want to get as many losers in there as I could. So I mean,
Ryan, how about the San Jose State Fresno State?
San Jose State. I'm gonna take a look at this line. Currently, if it goes to -3.5, it'd make me like San Jose State a lot more. If it stays at 3 or under, I'm going to be leaning towards Fresno State. I mean, they opened up the season with a loss against Hawaii, but followed up with 3 wins versus crappy teams. So Fresno's moving in the right direction. I would lean towards the points in Fresno right now.
Rod, Northwestern, Wisconsin.
Ooh.
Wow, Chris just gave the I smell something smells funny look. It's like something so funny.
Yeah.
It's touchdown spread in this one on the road for the Badgers.
I would take Northwestern plus the 7. I think it'll be a tight game.
Some good games on the schedule, but this one I think you can get better than the 7 if you want Northwestern. I think you can get 7.5.
Well, yeah, you might as well wait. I'm not rushing to bet that one. I think it'll get better.
It depends if the book will take your business or not. I mean, what line you can get. It's like, I know they have it there, but it's like, what about your wife? She's thrown out too. How did your wife get thrown out. It's like she doesn't get thrown out anywhere. And we got let's see. Oh, so some of these totals are out for college, actually.
All right. Give me one.
All right, let's see one with a good total game. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma.
Ooh.
Bedlam.
Was that like a 69 total?
Bedlam.
68?
No, this one is suspiciously low at 58.5. I've seen a 60.5 at the Cirque.
So they must. I wonder what the scores were last year. This is a big rival game.
I will say it's a big rivalry game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
but the
towards
games
under.
are seldom, if never, competitive.
Yeah, I would.
They're never close.
I would big rival game. 58. What's the spread on that?
7.
Oh, over.
It opened 7.5.
Let's go over.
I'm seeing some
gonna end at
6.
60.
I'm seeing some 6.5s out there. It's dropping. Oklahoma is favored by 7. I've seen some 6.5s now. I saw 7.5s and 6.5s.
This will be back and forth.
Yeah, the line's all over the place.
I don't think this will be a defensive game at all. Probably 60, 65 and a half.
How about Iowa State, Kansas State? 49.5 on that.
49.5 Iowa, Kansas State.
Iowa State,
I
Kansas
would lean
State.
towards the under.
Iowa State, Kansas State, under 49.5. It's gonna be it's gonna be that in the
Yeah,
first quarter.
Any capping yet?
It's gonna be over that in the first quarter. It was a layup. I was throwing
Why
you a
is it at
softball.
49, huh?
I was throwing you an easy one. Chris, LSU,
Why
Arkansas.
is it at 49? I'm not going to tell
We're
you.
gonna mute
over
you,
it, so
Chris.
you can take
LSU,
it.
Arkansas.
I think I'm going to go Arkansas. I think LSU's in trouble. You know, Finley had that good first start at quarterback replacing Miles Brennan, but since then, it's been pretty much stagnant offense for LSU. And Arkansas, yeah, they gave up 63 to Florida, but still put up 35. And I think Sam Pittman's back on the sidelines for this one. I just like Arkansas and how well they're coached, and they're playing with house money after having no expectations coming into this year. So I'll take Arkansas.
I like BYU minus the 47.5 against North Alabama. They're shameless. I mean, this team is shameless as far as running up points and scores, and they only have 2 games left, and with North Alabama on the schedule, expect to see a show in this one. This one, of course, is in Provo as well. So, yeah, Scott. I could see this one being a cover in the first half. I could see them hanging half 100 on North Alabama in the first half. Line is moving up to 48. So,
why couldn't they drop North Alabama and then add a team that's canceled due to COVID that isn't?
Because no one will do it. No one wants to play them. This is the thing that Miami. This is the same thing that happened to the great Miami teams. It's like if you have any out to not play them, then you take it. And it's like that's what all these teams did. BYU had the heavy hitter schedule. They had Utah, they had Michigan State, they had everybody on there. They had Arizona State was on there. They had a heavy hitter They had a heavy hitter schedule, and all their games got canceled. You don't see Oregon rushing to schedule Ohio State, do you? It's like, yeah, let's reschedule that Ohio State game. It's like, no way.
Which line would be bigger, this BYU line or BYU against UMass?
Well, we have a few out of conference games here. We got Stephen F. is playing against Memphis. We got ULL against Central Arkansas, which you gotta love Central Arkansas plus the 24.5 in that thing, right? A bit of a gem. And then Virginia minus 39.5 against Abilene Christian. Just not getting the reaction out of you guys I was looking for.
I think Abilene Christian banks out a cover there
against Virginia.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think Virginia just had the big public win against Louisville.
Yep.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
All right, one last game, and we'll call it a day. USC Utah. We'll just go around the horn. Chris, you're first. We'll go inverse order.
Okay, give me USC. I need to see something from Utah, and They're replacing a bunch of guys. So in USC, while they haven't blown teams out, still won the games. So give me USC.
And Ole Miss versus Texas A&M. Here's your 75.5 on the total on this one.
Geez. I'm going to take the under on
That's
that.
11. What's 11 touchdowns among friends? So Ann likes the under.
That I might even make that. Well, I have to do the math on that. I might make that a premium. That's too high.
Rod, Kentucky visits Alabama. 30.5.
I'll take Alabama. I think they'd run right over them.
And Brian, Florida International and Western Kentucky.
You would give them a thank you.
Boy. I'd go with Florida International here only because Western Kentucky struggles to score points, but that's just by.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's a touchdown game. Western Kentucky would win by a touchdown.
So on the early
the
early betting on this game, and there is action. I mean, there's action here on this. You know,
Run it to the window.
22% of the bets are on Florida International. 93% of the money.
See, I'm sharp, and I don't even know what the heck's going on with the numbers. I'm sharp. See?
Yeah.
My gut's sharp, so it's telling me Florida International.
It tells you need more fiber.
Well, on that same note, Colorado State, 35% of the bets, 93% of the money on the Rams in this one against UNLV, who's just terrible. Just absolutely terrible.
What's the UNLV? What's that lie?
It's 14. It will open at 14. It's at 15 now, but it's on the move. It's gonna go.
UNLV's getting 15 on the road.
It's gonna be 17 shortly.
Wow.
I don't know. I think I had my fill of UNLV for a couple of weeks.
Chris, Rutgers, Michigan. I know I said one more, but what the hell? Rutgers, Michigan, we'll call it.
Rutgers.
All right. At Piscataway. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. It was fun. Recapping the picks. I gave out the under on Monday Night Football. I think Brian gave out the over. And Kyle Rudolph. I gave out
the under.
Under for Brian, under for me. My touchdown is going to be, I'll say Thielen or Dalvin Cook, which is the obvious
Kyle
choice.
Rudolph.
Rod gave out the
Over.
and was on the over.
First half over.
She'll tell you the second half on our live show.
Well, it's like I picked the over, and then it does very well in the first half, and then nothing happens after that. It's the second half. So fine. I'm just going to go with that.
Speaking of nothing happens, that movie I was watching, On the Rocks, nothing has happened still. It's 2 days after the movie. Nothing happened. It's like, what was the movie about? Absolutely nothing. I mean, it had to be about something. No, it wasn't. It was about nothing. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. Chris, who'd you have? Over?
Over and Dalvin Cook.
Over Dalvin Cook. Thanks everyone for joining us. I'll be back at halftime. Chris, you'll be back with the drive-thru. Who's with you today?
Mr. Brian Bittler, Rod, Al Ninos, Joe D'Amico, and Tony T.
Sounds like the Men of Pick Dogs calendar. Bring your Speedo. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Of course, we'll try and act more professional tomorrow. I'll see you at halftime, Monday Night Football. And Chris will see you on the drive-thru with these guys.